mic check. Rule one, we showing up. Setting goals, got my sight back. Big faces on big stages. You gon' see it. Whooping cases like Tyson. I'm gon' beat it. We at MGM and it's packed out. 10X squad throwing stacks out. Grand finale gon' crash out. Get cash flow till we pass out. It's Cardone. You know my name cause I made it known. From Lake Charles to across the globe. MGM. In the grand I'ma give me some M's. All these haters they envy him. Cause they did what they did is time 10. I pull up to the MGM. In the grand I'ma give me some M's. To the loss I'ma give me some wins. Supplying my money by 10. Call me the boss, call me the Don. Talk me Mr. Cardone. Closing the deal, 1,000 apartments, doing it over the phone. Who got my money? I got a target, gotta hit all of my goals. I got a team, we do it big, no we don't do it alone. Everybody said they wanna get it, oh you really want it? Well then get obsessive. Dominated, man, I'm on the present. I hear stacking buildings like a Lego collection. Savages going after it, by the building off like a bag of chips. Like private, 40,000 feet, I can't hear the noise when you're talking. Yes, right, hustle through the night. Taking massive action so that I 10X my life. I swipe, my aim is to the right.
Welcome, everyone. Please help us welcome to the stage our host for today's competition, the two-time Emmy-nominated morning news anchor for NBC 6 News Today in Miami, Constance Simmons-Jones.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are you feeling? I know after lunch you can be a little sleepy, right? A little bit. So I need you guys to help me warm up the room just a little bit before we get our amazing students on stage. When I say NIF, you say T. Okay, you get it? All right, NIF, T. NIF, T. NIF. T. Okay. So I'm going to do it a couple of times. You need to pay attention when I'm saying it, okay? All right. I've been up since 1:30 this morning. So if I have this much energy, I need the energy back, okay? All right, so again, my name is Constance Jones. I am a morning news anchor here in South Florida. I've been a journalist in this market for about 17 years. So giving my age just a little bit, working about 10 years at the ABC affiliate. I worked at NPR, and currently I anchor the morning show, the #1 morning show at 6 a.m. on NBC and Peacock Streaming. So for me, I only say that to say that I'm invested in this community. This is my home. I love being here in South Florida, and it's an honor to be at events like this where we see our future, when we see amazing young people that I had a chance to meet today, and we're going to meet more of them, of course, with these presentations. It's so special, and this is what South Florida is about. It's not about some of that other stuff you hear about. It's about what's in this room today. So let's give a round of applause for all the amazing kids and students who are here. So, of course, if you're here today, you already have that entrepreneurial mindset, right? You already know the importance of instilling that at young people at an early age. So that means that every single person in this room today, you have the power to transform the lives of young people. So remember that. Remember that in your conversations. And our young people here, take hold to that message, that advice that you're getting. I saw these conversations happening. Hold on to that. Remember that. Journal it if you can. Also, we also have to say a big, big thanks to the Grant Cardone Foundation for being an amazing sponsor for us today. Oh, I like that. Also, EY, a round of applause for them. And Santander Bank as well. Let's give them a round of applause. Our associate sponsors for this afternoon is PayPal and Ciora as well. Let's give a round of applause for all of our sponsors. It's made today amazing. I've never had a sound effect like that when I've been on. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'd also like to give a special thank to all the nifty teachers, all the school sponsors, the parents. If you're in the room today, stand up. Want to recognize our parents, our teachers, all of our community partners. Yes. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for encouraging our young people today. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And finally, this great work would not be possible today without the commitment, without the guidance and support of the members of the Southeast Region's Advisory Board. You'll find them listed on the program, and we, of course, want to thank the entire Nifty community for everything that they've done here. Another round of applause. All right, you guys, today's it. This is the moment, the big moment we've all been waiting for, right? All the hard work that you put into your business plans. We can't wait to see your great ideas. So before we get started, all the kids that are presenting and everyone else, take a deep breath, okay? Everyone with me. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3. Let it out. Right? That feels better, right? A little bit. So it's a competition. Yes, of course it's a competition, but you're already a winner for being here, and it's not cliche at all. It's important to know that you being here today means a whole lot. So thank you for being here. And of course, winning is great. We all like to win, but in life, we don't always win. And the challenges make us better. I can give you a whole list of all my failures, but we'd be here for a very long time. And anyone who's been a success or has had a successful career will tell you they have a long list of failures in addition to the successes that they've had. So this is a part of that, and you're starting early. So thank you for being here. Congratulations to all of our kiddos. Is everyone ready to get started? Okay. So we are so lucky today. We have an amazing group of judges that are here to help assist us with everything today. Of course, you can read their full bios right there, scanning the QR code, but I'm going to introduce each one. If they could please stand to be recognized. Miami Office Managing Partner at EU, Richard Bruguera. Please stand and be recognized. Nifty alumni of class of 2010 and founder and CEO of Elite Basketball Academy, Andreas Cardona. Chief Operating Promise Keepers at Promise Keeper Pantry and Senior Program Manager at Crown Consulting Group, Jessica Hilton. And a pretty famous face in the room, Mr. DJ Irie. He's a music mogul and philanthropist. And finally, Executive Director and Market Director for UBS, Brad Allen Rosenberg. Thank you, judges, for sharing your time with us today to be a part of this very special event. We do not envy you. If you've seen some of those presentations, it's gonna be pretty hard to decide who's gonna be a winner. All right, now just an idea of what the rules are. We wanna make sure you understand what you're about to see on this stage in just a few moments, okay? So each presenter will have 7 minutes to present their pitch deck to the judges. Our timer will show a green card when there are 5 minutes left, and then a yellow card when there is 1 minute remaining. If the time expires before they finish, a red card will be shown and a bell tone will ring. There we go. Is that it? Well, yes. So after each presentation, the judges will have 3 minutes to ask questions. And again, a yellow card will be shown when there's 1 minute left, and then a red card, and then the bell will ring when the time is up. We will provide a minute. There we go. We'll provide a minute between each presenter for our judges to make the necessary notes that they need so we can move it along. So I am super excited to announce that our third place winner today will receive $500. Our second place winner, $1,000. And our first place winner will walk out of here with $1,500. Thank you, DJ. All right, are you guys ready to get started? Please welcome our very first presenter to the stage from Cypress Bay High School with their pitch, Polysite, Adish Kashaw.
Hello, my name is Adish Kachal, and I'm the founder and CEO of my LLC, Polysite, where youth data shapes democracy. Amidst high tariffs, geopolitical tensions, and immigration concerns, I can bet all of our heads are spinning over US politics. But as an upcoming voter in high school, no one has asked me about my political positions, let alone motivated me to register to vote, and I'm not the only one. My problem and opportunity. Political offices want to reach out to us high schoolers, but they can't, and that is not a new trend. 77% of youth ages 18 to 29 did not vote in the 2022 midterm elections. This means candidates and politicians still need an effective way to bring Gen Z to the polls. And with 8 million people entering the electorate just this year alone, there's a massive opportunity to reach out to an untapped market of high school students. When speaking with the director of March On, a campaign consulting firm, he emphasized, the way to get high schoolers engaged in the political system starts out with modern data collection and analysis. That is where PoliSite steps in. My value proposition. PoliSite will offer political offices data analytics about high school students to help them make quick decisions, reach out to upcoming voters, and increase youth voter turnout. On the laminate sheet provided towards you, I provided a detailed prototype of our services. The UI UX dashboard will feature reports and statistics based on data we collect, filterable data based on demographics, geographics, and psychographics, and a customizable user-friendly dashboard that allows them to customize the layout to display information most relevant to them, such as top voter issues. Essentially, our platform is designed to work with the hustle of campaign and legislative offices. My underlying magic. PoliSite will streamline its processes into 3 simple steps, which I also prototyped on page number 2 of the laminated sheet. First, recruitment. Our create a nonprofit component known as Politeam. The 501c3 will partner with school districts to promote our free data collection app to all students 16 and up taking mandatory U.S. government and history courses. We will also obtain parental consent and compliance with data privacy laws. Afterwards, we will actually go into data collection, where Politeam will conduct an average of 24 student focus group projects and 18 polls per congressional district that we target, which are of course voluntary. Through class discussions and exercises, I envision Politeam becoming an educational tool that encourages consistent political participation through the features on the app like polls, service events at schools, and through unbiased media coverage offered on the app itself. And lastly, analysis. The data collected by Politeam will be sent to our LLC PoliSite, where our analysts will synthesize that information to sell onto our dashboards to political offices. My target market. We currently plan to target approximately 260,000 high school students, 10,400 politicians, 191 state and federal offices, and 15 state parties in Florida. As a fellow Floridian and high school student, I understand my market on a personal level. When receiving feedback from campaign managers, I realized selling to just simply political offices may be inefficient. Instead, we will leverage state parties to push our platform out to all of their hundreds of candidates. We will also, considering that that campaigns typically spend approximately 70% of their average $2.1 million budget on voter outreach, they'll be keen to use some of those funds to reach out to young constituents. My marketing plan. To increase awareness, we will host social media campaign-specific engagement events through the Politeam app. Also, we will be able to sell our services by having a sales team that will personally broker deals with state parties and organizations, where we will also offer demos, a 2-month free trial, and a 50% discount for the first year of service. To retain our customers, we will update our dashboard at least 3 times a month and maintain an online think tank, where our analysts will be able to enhance our credibility amongst both high schoolers and political offices. I'll also use metrics to measure my success, including gaining at least 7,000 social media followers a month for the first year, obtaining 30 local entity and 5 state party deals in Florida by 2028, and maintaining a 90% commitment rate to our services year-round. My competitive analysis. Our direct main competitor is Gallup, a national polling platform that provides traditional, non-political youth polls for youth. My indirect competitor is SurveyMonkey, a company that provides customizable surveys and analytics to private companies. But PoliSite has a comparative advantage, as it uses modern data collection techniques to collect political data from youth, and the data is specific to congressional districts on a customizable and user-friendly dashboard, allowing campaigns to target youth. The size of the big data market in the US is $349 billion large and is growing at 30% annually. This means that we will penetrate the market at a lower price and expand quickly to obtain a significant market share. My qualifications. Well, I'm going to be an informed voter, entering politics for the first time next year. I'm also an internationally recognized business competitor, the president of the National Honor Society at my school, and the founder and CEO of my own national education nonprofit Learn with Peers, which means I have an entrepreneurial mindset. I'm self-motivated and a fast learner through Nifty Summer Internship, and I'm ready to problem solve to make PoliSite a success. My cost structure. We will sell a monthly subscription base to both districts and states, but for the purpose of simplicity, let's focus on the district level. The average selling price for a congressional district in Florida is an affordable $7,883. Our total travel expenses and data collection expenses amount to around $3,500, making our variable expenses. When we divide our fixed expenses by our contribution margin of $4,383, we get a break even of 27 district subscriptions or only 3 state party subscriptions when we scale up. My current status and future plans. Well, we hope to start website and app development with an initial startup cost of $125,000. We will also partner with school districts and broker state and local deals by initiating our marketing plan. In the long term, we hope to expand our target market across the US and soon lead the big data market. Now, in general, we look to see that PoliSci will be able to become socially responsible. So through Politeen, we will host voter registration drives for students at partner schools, and where they can learn service hours as well for their volunteering. In addition, on the Politeen app, we'll be able to simulate voter registration simulations for students so they understand how easy it is for students to get involved in the political process, which is extremely important. And lastly, they'll be able to learn more about politics through unbiased media coverage that will continue to go on throughout the year. Now, looking into our profits, we see that in year one, we expect a profit of $564,000, which will increase by 125%, accounting for the removal of the 50% discount and allowing for the expansion of the business itself to around $1,269,000 in year two. I want to help young voters feel motivated to vote, so I plan to study business economics and public policy at the University of Pennsylvania this fall. And now, I want to encourage all my high school peers to soon download our app and finally, let youth data shape democracy. Thank you.
All right, our judges, do you have any questions? We have 3 minutes for questions.
Hey, Adish.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for your time.
you.
How will you incentivize students to take time to take these surveys for you?
That's a great question. So going back to my underlying magic slide, I discussed that we will be integrating Politeen, the data collection app, into the curriculum at schools. So students will be taking U.S. government and history courses, which are mandatory across all high schools in the U.S. So by having open class discussions about these polls and these student focus groups, students will be encouraged to participate in such activities in order for them to become politically active. By having the encouragement of teachers on their side, because we're partnering with school districts, we'll be able to incentivize students to become politically active from the beginning, and with the hope that long term, they'll be more encouraged to vote in elections and to learn more about media coverage or media in a more unbiased manner.
As of a follow-up to that, because that's actually my same concern. You know, in the electorate, the younger the electorate, the higher the voter apathy, right? And when you get to pre-electorate, I would suggest it's probably even higher, right? Great thing that you're doing to like really get it embedded into the curriculum, but that means you are going to be monetizing data that is part of it. I mean, you have to have a profit share with the schools too, or how is that going to work?
So that's, again, a great question. That's a part of the reason why we created a nonprofit component called Politeen, because there is no profit incentive in Politeen itself. That is more so just to encourage that political participation through those polls and student focus groups. But by having that partnership between Politeen and PoliSci, where the data is shared in an anonymous manner to our analysts, we'll be able to synthesize that information to sell to our political offices. But once again, our priority is student privacy. We're not trying to make sure that their political opinions are shared where they don't want it to be. That's why teachers and administrations will never receive what they actually voted for or what they polled for in our app. Rather, that information goes directly to our analysts so that they're able to synthesize that information for their constituents or for the political offices in the area.
Adish, very professional presentation.
Thank you.
In your value proposition, you mentioned modernized data. Can you walk me through that a little bit? What do you mean by how will your data be any different from our current data?
That's a great question. So when looking at our main direct competitor, which is Gallup, the way they collect data is through randomized phone calls throughout the nation. However, that provides for a lot of variability in the data because there's confounding factors such as people not having access to phones or having telephones. But we're seeing that with Gen Z, where there isn't as much of a gap, by providing it on an app that's easily accessible to all teens, it's much more easier to get around that in a way that people actually want to participate when they're 18 years old. Unfortunately, when we look at the data, we see that many teens are not, or rather 18-year-olds are not participating in politics at all. So by exposing them to the procedure, by showing them how easy it is to register to vote, by showing them how easy it is to get part of polling, student focus group practices, and actually get involved in politics, they'll be more encouraged to do this from the get-go and become involved in politics in the national scale. Thank you so much.
Wow. You have to be a fast talker up here, don't you? Good job. All right, we're going to give our judges just a few moments as they're reviewing their notes at this time. So if you could please stand by.
hijack. Rule one, we showing up. Setting goals, got my sight back. Big faces on big stages. You gon' see it. Whooping cases like Tyson. I'm gon' beat it. We at MGM and it's packed out. 10 squad throwing stacks out. Grand finale gon' crash out. Get cash flow till we pass out. It's Cardone. You know my name cause I made it known. From Lake Charles to across the globe. MGM. In the ground, I'ma give me some M's. All these haters, they envy him. Cause they did what they did, time 10. I pull up to the MGM. In the ground, I'ma give me some M's. Took a loss, I'ma give me some wins. Supplying my money by 10. Call me the boss, call me the Don. Talk me Mr. Cardone. Closing the deal, 1,000 apartments, doing it over the phone. Who got my money? I got a target.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our second group. Presenting their business plan for Halo Technologies from Horizon High School, we have Manuel Vides and Julian Sands. Please come to the front.
Good afternoon, my name is Julian Sainz, and this is my partner.
Manuel Vidas, and together we present Halo Technologies,
Your AI guardian above, protecting the roads below. With a show of hands, how many of us have a loved one who drives to school or work every single day? Over this last year, I've somehow managed to get into 2 car accidents. Now I know what you're thinking, I must be a terrible driver. However, this is not the case. Like many of your loved ones, I was on my way to school moments before a life-altering collision. Not only for myself, but for my mom, as she received what must have been the most traumatic phone call of her life. The next thing I remember is waking up in the hospital with one question on my mind. What can I do to make sure this doesn't happen to anybody else?
Now, let's be honest, this isn't just a problem, no, it's a crisis. In fact, it's a crisis that accounts for 6 million accidents every year in the nation. A crisis that leaves over 2 million people injured or disabled annually. A crisis that is deemed the leading cause of death for young adults aged 15 through 29 years young.
What if I told you we found a solution that not only responds to the problem, but instead eliminates the crisis?
Julian, what is the solution?
I'm glad you asked. Halo's AI crash prevention software is paving the way for the future of unmatched safety on our roads.
And please tell me, how do we approach this future?
Well, it all stems from our real-time sensor algorithms, which uses cameras and radars in your car to capture information about your vehicle surrounding, such as cars, pedestrians, and hazards on the road. Then, with this information, our adaptive predictive analytics is able to calculate the best possible outcome, not only for you and your loved ones, but for everybody else, while simultaneously using our magnum opus, vehicle-to-everything communication, an ecosystem of Halo vehicles constantly relaying data upon each other.
You heard that right. The more that we implement Halo technologies into our roads, the safer they become. And according to the VMR Foundation, vehicle manufacturers invested a whopping $85 billion into car safety features in 2023 alone. And with Halo in the picture, this number will only tend to skyrocket, which is exactly why we have decided to sell solely business to business to car manufacturers all over the world, making the new standard of car safety Halo. Now, in order to get there, we need to get ourselves out there. We plan on building awareness with nonprofit organizations against reckless driving, such as the MADD, also known as Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Next, we will partner up with some of the greatest insurance companies in today's world, such as Geico and Progressive, offering premium discounts to users of our technology. Additionally, we will publish pilot results and case studies, showcasing our data and the amount of lives that we have saved. And last but not least, we will offer and co-brand and present at auto and electronic expositions, as there will be high B2B activity in these events.
Now, with the ball already rolling, how can we continue to build this momentum? Halo's retention plan is simple. First, we will release over-the-air updates ensuring that all users of our technology have the most up-to-date version of our software. Then, we want to make the process as easy as possible for car manufacturers. We promise simple integration of our software into their vehicles. Then, through the use of crash reduction analytics, we will become a household name in the automotive safety field. With our retention plan already in place, the next question is clear. How do we compete? Halo's 2 closest competitors are Tesla's Advanced Driver Assistance System, also known as ADAS, as well as Waymo. However, we still remain miles ahead of the game. Over the last 16 years, Waymo has failed to create a solution that is attractive to the consumer. Additionally, both Tesla and Waymo are missing key fundamental features, such as Halo's vehicle-to-everything communication and Halo's AI crash prevention system. But here is where we leave our competitors in the rear view mirror. While Tesla and Waymo are only designed to function with their vehicles, Halo was designed to improve the safety of not one, but all vehicles on our road.
Here is why we are qualified for the job. Over the start of our journey, we have gained countless skills, but are only able to showcase a select few. Today, I would take on the role of the CEO of Car Safety's future, Halo Technologies. I am also the co-founder of Stride Athletica, an athletic wear company that has given me incredible skills such as business administration and financial management skills. Along with this, I've been given the opportunity to network with some of the greatest names in our industry, including Robert Williams, who is the head of marketing at Stellantis. And for reference, Stellantis is a large corporation that owns Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And last but not least, I'm entrepreneurship and small business certified, as shown everywhere.
Like my partner, I'm also ESB certified, and I would like to introduce myself as the CTO of Halo Technologies, the powerhouse behind our AI crash prevention software. Over the last 5 years, I've taken every DIT course available to me. Additionally, I never stopped yearning for more information, which is why I continue to participate in outside AI boot camps, ensuring that I know the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. Like I said, I'm ESB certified, as well as DIT and Adobe certified. But enough about us, let's talk numbers. We value our product, which is why, from production to security, we have selected top-of-the-line producers, ensuring premium quality. Our cost of production is $19.50 per license, which we plan to retail to manufacturers at a price of $225 per unit. We assume a expenditure of $11,000 a month, which makes our monthly break-even point roughly 53 units. Alongside this, just like you want your bags covered on the road, we want to have our bags covered as a business, which is why we have taken everything into account, including our own team of lawyers, not to mention any revenue that will be generated through partnerships and collaborations. Currently, Halo's AI crash prevention software has been successfully developed and tested in over thousands of trials. And if you drive on our highways, you know how hectic they get. Over these trials, we've conducted a 99.4% success rate with an average response time of 0.03 seconds. Alongside this, you can learn more about us on our already built and established website, where we go more in depth on how our technology works, as well as we give a platform for investors to contact us directly.
Now, Julian and I are visionaries, and we want you to envision a future of car safety on the road. Now, there are a couple of steps we need to take in order to get there. First, we will patent Halo Technologies, as this is an innovation that will change the world forever. Next, we will hire AI engineers to mass produce and enhance our software, making it compatible with all newer vehicles on the road. Once production is stable, we will begin large-scale integration of our software into vehicle manufacturers, platforms, and systems. And here's where our philanthropist side comes in. We will donate 5% of all profits to car safety research and nonprofit organizations against reckless driving. And last but not least, we plan to scale, but we plan to scale like no other, baby. We plan to scale above and beyond to planes, boats, motorcycles, trucks, you name it, ensuring maximum safety from point A to point B, all thanks to Halo Technologies.
We didn't build this to be another school project. We built this because I should have been a statistic. And with every life saved is a stepping stone into the future where car crashes are a problem of the past. Thank you so much.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Question for you.
Yes, sir.
What do you see as the biggest challenge to get into this market?
Honestly, the biggest challenge is gaining the trust of the consumer. We already have the software developed, and we know that this will work. We just want to make sure that through advertising, we're able to get this out there to everyone and build the trust of everyone in our community.
I'm not sure if you guys followed through with the website on your phones, but in the website, there's actually an embedded video of our software working and concluding trials over time as well.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions?
Is there a hardware component to
Thank you so much for asking that. So the hardware is already installed in most modern cars. Cameras, radar, LiDAR, those are things that you already have. What we're doing is taking the software that you already have and adding a brain to it, making sure that you are safe on the roads.
But hold on a second. Keyword was modern cars.
Yes, sir.
So if you have a modern car that's outfitted and super safe,
Of course.
but then you have a older model car, doesn't that still mean the roads are pretty dangerous?
Okay, I'll answer this question. So I want to ask you a question, DJ Irie. So
Yeah.
how many
What's your question?
How many classic vehicles do you see on the highway every day? I'm talking like 67 Chevys, any of that.
I mean, not a whole lot,
Not a whole lot.
but to be fair, we're not really talking that far back.
Right.
I mean, think about it. Even first generation Teslas, right? Their hardware is actually aged out of the new updates, right? And I mean, first generation Teslas are what, 15 years old. Just being practical, there are plenty of cars on the road that don't necessarily have LiDAR, that don't have cameras,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I completely understand what you're saying, but alongside innovation comes replacement, right? So as we improve everything, you're going to see this. You're going to see the safety that we have on our vehicles, and the people are going to want a newer vehicle. So, and everyone's replacing their vehicle every few years. We're going to sweep out all the old and in the new with the innovation that we have and the safety we provide.
This will also create economic drive to these big manufacturers, car manufacturers, for newer vehicles. It's a win-win for everybody in today's market.
Got to make sense. I just want to know if there was a hardware.
Perfect.
Sure
Thank you
thing.
so much.
The cars can be retrofitted.
Thank you,
Gotcha.
sir.
Hello.
Yes,
great,
sir.
great energy, both of you.
Thank you.
On your cost structure, right? You allocated more money towards legal than rent. What type of facility will you be renting? What are you?
Perfect. Yes, sir. So the facilities that we would be renting, we wouldn't really need that big as a team as it's a software. So we're expecting people to work from home, such as AI engineers and all that. So the reason we put more into legal fees and everything is because since we're providing safety, since we're promising safety, we also have to make sure that we're held accountable for anything that might happen on the road. And we don't want to have any of this backfire on us. So we need to make sure that legally we're protected.
By
Yes,
the
sir.
best.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Thank you guys so much.
Just a few moments to tally their scores. If you could stand by.
Somebody give me some wings. Supply my money by 10. Okay, I'm reloaded. You know just how I bought it. I'm bullying with the POTUS. The mother guys is bogus. I'm sure you probably noticed. They see the money moving, now they asking what's the motion. I told them that's rule number 4. I stay focused. In school, I was passing notes and now I'm duly noted. I grew up at the lake about 3 hours out of know you. First, my mama was like, wait, I copped the crib out in La Jolla. Not a mansion in Malibu and another one in Florida. And guess what? It ain't over. I still got more to show you. In Vegas, we voted. I'm worldwide, I'm global. I'm so TREM trim, the real estate mogul. Man of my word, doing exactly what I told up, cause we like that. Bring the pressure like Mike Jack. Rule 1, we showing up. Setting goals, got my sight back. Big faces on big stages. You gon' see it. Whooping cases like Tyson. I'm gon' beat it. We at MGM and this pat down. 10 squad throwing stacks out. Grand finale gon' crash out. Get cash flow till we pass out. It's Cardone. You know my name cause I made it known. From Lake Charles to across the globe. MGM. In the grand I'ma give me some M's. All these haters they envy him. Cause they did what they did is top 10. I pull up to the MGM. In the grand I'ma give me some M's. Took a loss, I'ma give me some wins. Supply my money by 10. Call me the boss, call me the Don. Talk me Mr. Cardone. Closing the deal, 1,000 apartments, doing it over the phone. Who got my money? I got a
All right,
target,
ladies
gotta
and
hit all my
gentlemen,
goals.
if you could please take your seats. Next up, our next presenter and final presenter of the day, Briley Goebel. She is from Lutz K through 8th School with Paul. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning. My name is Briley Goebel and I go to Lutz K8. I'm in 8th grade and I'm the CEO of Pawable. Pawable is a business that creates accessible pet products for people with disabilities because we believe everyone deserves a pet. Some problems that I noticed in my community were loneliness. People who had disabilities weren't able to get that social interaction that other people had access to because they weren't able to drive or go out as much. I also noticed that they lacked companionship. They weren't able to have a pet because they didn't have the abilities to take care of an animal. There was also limited mobility effects on pet care. People in wheelchairs and walkers weren't able to bend down to take care of their pets, meaning they couldn't have one. There were also high costs associated with pet care. Having somebody take care of your pet for you or other options were often too much for people to afford. How we help. Pawable is an adaptive pet bowl that allows pet owners to feed their pets without having to bend down, decreasing back risk, back pain, and fall risk. Pawable is accessible, adaptable, easy to use, easy to clean, lightweight, durable, and unique. How we're different. Current adaptive bowls only include an extended handle, but our bowl also allows food or water to be delivered to the pet without the need for bending over. There also is changeable parts that is included in our bowl. We have different size handles, funnels, and dog bowls to adapt to your pet and you. Customers may also order their food and water dispensers at a set discounted for a price. There's also a lightweight plastic design that allows for easy cleaning and movement. Here's a quick demonstration of my product. So the product has a funnel at the top, a tube going to the bottom, and a dog bowl at the bottom. You can use food or water. You take your desired food or water, you pour it down the funnel, and it ends up at the bottom so your pet can drink it without needing to bend down at all. When you're done, you can pick it up, put it on your table, and clean it out, put it right back on the floor, and use it next time. You can also change the height, so we'd have different pieces that you can add to it to make it taller, shorter, whatever you would need. My target market are elderly people with mobility issues. I also want to look for middle-class people who aren't able to afford that other expensive pet care available. I also want people who value that companionship but struggle with the daily task of feeding or taking care of a pet. From over 50 surveys that we conducted regarding the difficulties of pet ownership, 75% of them listed feeding as their most difficult task. Of that 75%, all of them thought my product could be helpful. Since then, I have received more survey analysis, but they stay the same results. Some of my marketing strategies are I want to make Facebook ads. I also want to partner up with popular influencers and have partnerships with home health organizations or places like Chewy to help get my product out there and make my community aware of it. We are aware there is competition. Some have long-handled dog bowls, others have an elevated pet stand, but none of them actually help you feed the pet. The pet revenue industry is worth $6.71 million and is expected to grow to $97.2 million by 2032. Some of my competitive advantages are I have a parent who works with patients that have disabilities. I've been a pet owner for 14 years. I also have a grandmother with mobility issues. A little bit about me. I'm a member of the National Junior Honor Society. I've been volunteering for physical therapy clinics for 4 years. I'm also a middle school student taking high school level courses, and I'm taking the NFTE Entrepreneurship course, which is helping me teach me how to run a business. We're looking to sell my product for $32.99. My total cost of goods is $16.03. It's $10 for shipping, $4 for materials, and $2 for labor. We're looking to lower my shipping cost by partnering with places like Chewy to help bring down that price as much as possible. My contribution margin is $16.96, and I need to sell 4 per month to offset my expenses. My plan for growth, I'm currently working on creating and setting up an online store on Etsy or Shopify. My next step is to partner with companies like Chewy to lower shipping costs. Upon the receipt of customer feedback, we want to create more products to help elderly people. Once my business has hit the point of success, I plan to sponsor pet adoption events to get pets out of shelters and into loving homes. This is my business, Pawable. I'm Bradley Goebel. I would love to take your questions now.
Hello. Hello. Can you guys? Okay, yes. Hello, Bradley. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. Amazing presentation. I have a question. Do you own your design?
Not yet. So we are currently working on getting a patent for it so I can own it and start producing it. But we still haven't finalized the design, so we're looking to do that as soon as possible and then get it to be mine.
Okay. I realized I had another question written. Do you plan to sell directly to consumers or to businesses?
So I think I'm looking to do a little bit of both. To start out, I want to start with companies so they can help me get my product out there. And once I build that strong fan base, I would like to move to selling directly to them.
I had a question for you. Great presentation. You mentioned your mom works in a physical therapist office. Is that what I saw?
Yes, correct.
So do you see opportunity there for folks there that could benefit from this?
Yes, so with my survey results, some of the people that were there did take the survey, and when she talked to them, they all knew and said when it comes out, they want it.
Right, I think your product is not just for people who are physically impaired. I think I would want to use it. It's a great product. So
Yeah, you don't miss out on the lazy market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a big market. Yeah. You know that. You know what I'm saying?
I'll make sure to tell them that.
So I could just I could practice my shooting stroke. Put a backboard, it's perfect.
We'll add that to the next design. Any other questions? Thank you.
Our judges to collect their items. Collect all of your goodies so they can head off to finish scoring. So collect all your goods. All right, let's give all of our student competitors another round of applause. In 8th grade, what was I doing? I think I was still playing with Barbies. Right? Oh my gosh. Amazing student. I know, it's like, oh, I had a Lego stuck in my ear. I don't know what I was doing. At age 12, 13. All right, now it is my honor and my privilege to introduce the executive director for NFTE Southeast Region, Mr. Chris Bring-Noel.
Thank you. DJ, I need one more of those. Come on, give me one more, DJ. There we go. That's got to keep the energy alive. So I came to an event maybe about a year and a half ago. The kids had their walk-up songs. They had the in the background, and it was awesome. So, if you guys wasn't here as part of the morning announcements earlier, you won't really know what I'm saying, but they have a whole thing here at 10X that we're going to say yes until we have to say no. So we're going to keep going forward that way. So we asked Phil, and Phil said yes, and we made it happen today. So without further ado, I just want to say again, thank you to the Grant Cardone Foundation. It's almost going on 3 years now that we've been connected and moving forward with them. And we came as a guest. We sat in the back of the room. We saw students from Tamani, DC present, and they actually did an amazing job. Once they did an amazing job, we was asked, hey, how can we dive deeper with NFTE and the Grant Cardone team? So that's exactly what we did. And we asked, and they didn't say no, and they said yes. And they hosted our first business plan competition last summer, and this will be our first regional competition. And we look forward to having many more with the team here at the Grant Cardone Foundation. So again, my experience with GCF, they're all about financial literacy and instilling entrepreneurship education into youth, and that's exactly what NFTE is. And we had conversations over the past few months. Our CEO, I want to say shout out to JD, he's here today with us. And we had a meeting with the Grant Cardone Foundation, and the idea was, let's spread the entrepreneurial virus together with the Grant Cardone Foundation, with their 10X for Kids University, and bring it to all of our NFTE students at a global level. So they said, no matter how many licenses you need, we got you guys covered. So one of the things we're doing now, all of our NFTE alum will be receiving this university. Without further ado, I I don't know if he knows or not, but we have something special for the Grant Cardone Foundation. I want to bring up Philip Farinacci, our Grant Cardone Foundation Director, and we want to give them the Impact Catalyst Award from Nifty. There you go. So, Phil, we could say a few words.
Good timing, Craig. All right. Do you want to take a picture first?
Absolutely, we could do that.
Funny story. This morning, I just glanced at the awards, and I isolated this one. I was like, wow, that's really nice. I didn't see who it was for. Thank you. So we are going to welcome someone shortly to give a bit more of a keynote speech, but I just want to thank you guys for the confidence and the pride you put into all your work. All of you guys, like I said this morning, we're going to grant all of you access to Cardone University. We hope that you utilize that to continue to improve on your communication skills, your sales ability, because what you were doing up here was selling the judges on your business. Right? You might not have been actually taking money from them, but you're selling them on the concept of the business, right? So it's incredibly important, and we want to make sure that you are outfitted with that resource and improving every day. And for any of the teachers that are here from anywhere around the state or the Southeast region, wherever you guys are from, we can extend that offer to your students as well. Okay, they don't have to be a part of the Nifty program necessarily. So if you're a teacher interested in Cardone University, come and chat with me at the end, and we'll make sure to get those user accounts for your students as well. Okay, all of the competitors from today, you'll notice when you head back into the trade show area, there's a little bit of a care package that we left for you guys there. Okay, so you'll all get some books. I think we put 10X hats there and some other stuff. So those are gifts from us to you so that you can continue on your journey here, okay? Without further ado, we're going to welcome someone very special to the stage. Are you ready? All right. We are going to welcome our president of Cardone Training Technologies, Mr. Jared Glant.
Well, congratulations to everybody. Raise your hand if you pitched your business today. Let me just see. Congratulations. Getting up in front of a room of people and doing what you did is not an easy thing to do, but you're going to have to do it a bunch. There's going to be many, many times as an entrepreneur that you're going to have to do uncomfortable things. That never goes away, whether you're just getting started or whether the business is like our business today and doing hundreds of millions of dollars a year in revenue. You're constantly going to be faced with problems. Those never go away. Raise your hand if you got problems. Everybody got problems in the room. So those never go away. And you're constantly going to be put in situations where you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to have to learn a next new thing. We have the opportunity in our business to work with hundreds of thousands of business owners every single year. Millions of people follow Grant. We have about 185,000 customers per year. And we are teaching them the things that they need to do in order to be successful. Now, how many of you have a business and you're already making money? You're already generating money. How many of you have something that's just an idea right now? Okay. The two most important things in business until you get past $1 million a year in revenue are sales and marketing. And one of the biggest mistakes that we see business owners making is they spend so much time on their product, they spend so much time on their idea, they spend so much time trying to get everything just right, and then when they finally do, they go out to the marketplace and they think that people are just going to be giving them money and customers are going to want to buy their stuff, and nothing could be further from the truth. Business is extremely hard. 91% of small businesses in America make less than $1 million a year in revenue. 2/3 of businesses fail within 5 years. It's extremely difficult to be in business if you don't stay hungry and stay curious and constantly be figuring out the next thing that you have to do in order to get the business to the next level. And sales and marketing are the two things that give the business the lifeblood that it needs to survive. Revenue. And we have a saying, Grant has a saying here, it says, "Who's got my money?" You guys heard that before? Who's got my money? Because that is the question you need to wake up every single day and ask yourself is, who's got my money? Where is the next customer at? And with sales and marketing, one of the most important rules that you can understand, and it's very simple, you should write this down, because of all the businesses that we work with, there's probably less than 5% that get it right, and those 5% are the most successful businesses that we work with.
Got my money.
Who's got my money?
Chapter 6. Step 4. Who's got my money?
There is nothing that I can prepare you for or tell you that will properly communicate the magnitude of this statement to you until you have been in the marketplace for a long period of time figuring this out on your own. The amount of energy and effort and creativity and push that you have to have in order to get somebody's attention, number one. Then continue to get it long enough for them to have trust and faith and confidence in you, number two. Then to get them on the phone or to transact with you, number three. And then to continue to serve them at a high level so that they come back and continue to spend money with you is literally 10 times more than you think it is. It is impossible to actually quantify this until you're in it. And this is the only thing that you guys can leave here with that might give you a chance at understanding this concept in the right degree. Because until you assume nobody sees anything that you're doing, you will never push hard enough to get people to actually to see what you're doing. So what does that mean with marketing? Assume nobody sees a social media post. Assume nobody sees an ad that you ran. Assume nobody sees the emails that you sent. Assume if you're sending direct mail that nobody got the mail got the piece in the mail. If you're talking about sales, assume that when you made a call, nobody heard it, nobody saw it. Assume that when you leave a voicemail, nobody listened to it. Assume that when you dropped by and you dropped the business card off with somebody, assume that it didn't get to the person who it was supposed to go to. Like, you literally have to assume people see nothing. This was a lesson I learned quickly, the hard way, when I first started working for Grant. This was back, we were doing about $2 million a year in revenue, had 4 employees, 15 years ago. And my job was to make cold calls. And so I made a list, and I started making cold calls, calling business owners to sell them our stuff. And I made a list of like 100 businesses and made 100 phone calls in a day. And I thought I was like the man. I didn't talk to 3 people. Nobody bought anything. And I was like, I'm the man. First day in, I'm like, I made 100 calls. I'm killing it. And then the next day came, and I was like, what do I do? Why you gotta do that, man? Why you gotta do that? Couldn't afford a haircut. I slept so backstory. I slept on an air mattress for 2 years when I first started working for Grant because I moved to a city. I grew up in San Diego. I moved to Austin, Texas, moved back to San Diego, and then got this opportunity. My dad actually sent me a YouTube video 15 years ago. There was no Grant Cardone that you know today. And actually, this is a good little segue. And so I called the office because I was like, I saw it. I was in a bad place in my life. I'm like, I got to go work for this guy. Nobody knew who he was. There was 20 videos on his YouTube channel. There was no Instagram. Instagram was not a thing yet. TikTok, definitely not a thing. Snapchat, definitely not a thing. This is like old school. So he had a personal Facebook page. That was it. And I saw a YouTube video with 20 videos on it. I watched this video, and I'm like, I got to go work for this guy. So I called the office, and I'm like, hey, I'd like to talk to Grant Cardone. He's not around right now, but we can take a message. So I said, my name's Jared. I want to come work for you guys. My dad bought one of your seminar tickets for his manager. He said it was great. I want to be a part of what you guys are doing. And I want to talk to him because I want to come work for you guys. Okay? Hang up the phone. Next day comes. I'm like, I hadn't heard back yet. I thought that Grant was going to call me back. Many of you, if you're having to call people to talk to them about raising money, or you're having to talk to them about becoming a customer, like, you're going to make a phone call, you're going to leave a voicemail, and then you're going to be like, they should call me back. It don't work like that. They don't care about you. They're not thinking about you. They got their own, raise your hand, you got problems? Everybody got problems? Okay. They got their own problems, man, and you ain't one of them. And so I made the mistake of assuming that he was going to get the voicemail and the phone call. So I didn't do anything the next day. And then I'm like, man, I really want this job. I want to be hungry for it. So I pick up the phone and I call again. And then same thing. Left a voicemail. Next day, I'm like, I really want this. I don't want to let it go. I called again. And the guy's like, hey, man, he'll call you back. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I want you guys to know I'm here and I'm ready and I want to come up. I can be there tomorrow. I can be there this afternoon. Like, I want to come get in front of him and come work for you guys. Nothing. Next day, called, talked to somebody else this time. This went on for a month and a half. I started calling every day. And finally, they agreed to interview me. I drove up from San Diego to LA, got the job, and then now I'm like, oh my God, I got to move to LA now. I didn't know anybody there. I had never had a roommate that wasn't like a friend. And I'm like, I got to have a roommate because I can't afford to live in LA. I was 20 grand in debt, and the job paid $2,500 a month plus commissions. I didn't sell anything for like 3 months, so it was brutal. So I get a roommate, and I get that all figured out, and then I show up to the office, and I'm like, I'm hungry, man. I got to eat. And so I plan. I'm like, I get this list put together. I call in. I smoke through the list, and then the next day I'm like, what do I do? And I'm like, hey, Grant, I've made a bunch of phone calls yesterday to all these people, and I just want to, like, what should I do next? And he goes, what do you mean, what should you do next? And I'm like, do I need to go get a new list? Because it took me like 3 hours to make that list, and now I'm like, do I need to build another list? He's like, no, call those 100 people back, but call them twice. 2 times in the same day. So I went through the list the first time, same thing, talked to 2 people. Called the list again second half of the day and talked to like 3 more people. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see some progress here. And then, by the way, this is all the time I'm sleeping on an air mattress. And had 3 shirts. I was broke. It was like a true rags story. The riches came much later, but this was the rags part of the story. And so I like kept showing up every day, making 100 phone calls, and then I'm like, I got to make 200 phone calls, and I got to make 300 phone calls. And once I got the activity right, I started getting deals. Outflow equals inflow. This is marketing and sales. Sales, marketing, outbound reach, sales cold call, that's an outbound reach. Like putting outflow into the marketplace at volumes that I never physically thought were possible. Today, our guys in the back are required to make a minimum of 200 calls a day or have 4 hours of talk time with prospects. So we time both of those things. So they got to make either 200 calls a day or 4 hours of talk time. Our new people, it's really like 350 calls a day. The volume is massive. And the reason it's massive is because nobody sees anything. They don't see it, they don't hear it, and nothing can prepare you for that until you're in it. The problem is some people never get it, and then their business ends up dying because they never had the right level of expectation of the work that was required to get them to their outcome. And so then they think that the business is a failure, it didn't work, but nothing was wrong with the business. How many of you guys that pitched a business today, there's somebody doing what you're doing, making millions of dollars a year? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay? If somebody else is doing it and successful with it, then the next question you need to ask yourself is, what do they know that I don't know that's preventing me from getting where they're at? And that conversation will continue to change as the business grows and grows and grows. And then for the people that have a business that nobody else is doing, how many of you guys have a business nobody else is doing? Okay? Then for you guys got to figure out, number one, how you're going to educate people about a problem. Because if the customer doesn't know about the problem, It's your job to educate them. If you talk to them about a problem they've never thought about before, your chances of getting a deal with that person the first time you talk to them are extremely low. So first thing, you got to educate them about the problem. Then you got to sell them on you. And then you got to sell them on your ability to solve that problem. And so that process takes time. And the way you speed that up is lots of outflow, lots of education, to educate people about this problem that they don't know they have yet. And since I'm talking about problems, I'll tell you one more thing. The only reason people spend money on anything is to solve a problem. This is why people make decisions to purchase things. Now, they do these things to save time. That could be a problem, general problems, decision drivers. Could be to save time, could be to save money, could be to make money, could be to elevate status, could be to create community. There's only a handful of drivers that exist that people make decisions on. And so you have to understand that customers will only spend money to solve a problem. And your ability to communicate about that problem, not the way that you talk about it. We talk to our sales team about this all the time. You can't communicate to the customer the way you refer to the problem. You have to talk to the customer about the way they talk about the problem. So we could talk about a solution for retention and recruiting. But the real problem is, are you tired of turnover? Are you tired of having to hire people over and over and over again and invest a bunch of time in them, and then they leave to go work somewhere else and take all the hard work that you had with them? I'm not talking to them about recruiting and retention. I'm talking to them about a very real problem that they have. And so when you can articulate or discuss with a customer or a prospect about their problem, and you can describe their problem in their words better than they can describe it themselves, you will get a deal. And the only way you'll figure all that out is by massive outflow. And so this concept of the 10X rule, if you guys haven't read that book or listened to the audio, we should make sure that they get that, because this is the rule that has allowed us to get where we're at. When I started with the company 15 years ago, we were doing $2 million a year in revenue. Grant had been in business for 15 years before that. And it was in the middle of 2008, 2009, 2010. The economy was in shambles. The industry that we were selling into lost half of the business owners in a period of like 18 months. They literally shut down half of the businesses in this industry. And nobody wanted to spend money. Everybody was terrified. And so Grant said, how do I solve this problem? I need to do things my competitors are not willing to do, and I need to operate with a different mindset. And so he sat down and said, I need to put together a game plan to figure out how to get out of this. And that's where the 10X rule was born. And it's all about massive action. It's all about massive goals. It's all about the appropriate and proper estimation of the work required to get something done. And it is 10 times more than you think it is. This is the revenue graph over the last 15 years or so. And that book was written like around right here. And then we started implementing it, started figuring out, dialing in marketing and sales, and then everything started just exponentially growing. And so this right here, solve a problem, understand how your customer talks about the problem, sell the problem, reinforce the problem all the way through the sales process, and then assume nobody sees anything that you do. Those are two like vital things that you have to understand that most business owners who have been in business for 10, 12, 15 years, 20 years do not understand. And if you guys can get these two things, there's a lot of things that we could teach and help you guys with, but if you guys can get these two things, then you have a shot at breaking the statistic and breaking out and becoming successful in your business. Okay? Congratulations for everybody that pitched. I wish you well, wish you the best. Stick around, stay close. We'd love to help you grow your business.
right, the judges are back. So I'm sure they have who's the first, second, third, all of the great stuff. So we're gonna bring to the stage Victor Martinez to the All right, but 1 second, really quick. We have Andreas Cardona, our Nifty alum. I gotta tell this really 2 seconds. Andreas, 10 years ago, 11 years ago. We have EY here, also one of our presenting sponsors. Andreas went to Monaco at the age of 21. Directly after being a Nifty alum, went to Monaco, got there, he just told us a story. He said, I only had $850 in my bank account. He says, the next time I want to come back here is when I have actually money in my account on my own. And he just told me the story that he's going to F1 next year in Monaco. So 10 years later, full cycle of Nifty. That support. You have mentors that's still with you till today. So I want to say congratulations to you to be able to see that full cycle of the Nifty life. And then now, business owner. Would you like me to add something? Absolutely, absolutely. 2 seconds you got.
So guys, I'm gonna say this for the students. So I rode a bike for 4 years to school. My mom was a single mother. She cleaned houses to keep us afloat. When I started Nifty, I was gonna drop out of school because I wanted to get a job to help my mother out. A year and a half ago, I paid for her apartment on the water cash, and I gave her the keys. And it was as a result of this business that I presented. So some of you guys weren't even presenting here, all right? But if you believe in yourself and you execute and you work hard and you make the right decisions, it can be done, all right? So, yeah.
Appreciate that. DJ, give him that. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
All right, so before we announce our winners, we do want to present a few more awards to some really valuable folks in our Nifty community that make events like today really, really important, but also make it happen. First and foremost, we would like to honor, every year we get the opportunity to honor one individual volunteer of the year that then goes on and competes at the national level for the opportunity to be recognized as Nifty's National Volunteer of the Year Award. So this year we're really, really happy to celebrate and honor our individual Volunteer of the Year Award from the Miami Bayside Foundation, Alan Alvarez. So, and as Alan stands here, I'm gonna share a little bit more about Alan. Alan has been part of the Nifty community for about 10 years, contributing well over 300 hours of just volunteer hours, serving, mentoring our students, both in school, out of school, during the summer. And he has brought even the secret sauce to what we call here at Nifty. But more importantly, he also co-chairs the Nifty's Southeast Advisory Board volunteer program, which has allowed us to increase our volunteer engagement of over 10,000 hours just this year alone. So thank you to Alan for his not only dedication to the community, the Nifty community, but also he dedicates a lot of his time through the Miami Bayside Foundation to support small businesses in the local Miami community. And he hopes to see many of our Nifty students in that space and that ecosystem in many, many years to come. So without further ado, thank you so much, Alan. In addition to highlighting an individual volunteer of the year, we also get an opportunity to highlight a corporate organization who each and every year dedicates their time not only to our students but also to our community as a whole, with both their time, their talent, and their skill sets. So this year it is no surprise to us in the local Southeast community to honor Dade County Federal Credit Union as our Corporate Volunteer of the Year. So DCFU has been an exceptional NFTE partner, demonstrating unwavering commitment to empowering youth entrepreneurship in our local South Florida community. They started small in their engagement with NFTE, just serving our summer programs in Miami, but over the past 3 years, they have increased their engagement to serving not only our 200 students that participate in our summer programs, but they also do weekly financial literacy workshops for those students, and then now they're also expanding into our community in Broward. They also serve as coaches throughout the school year, as volunteer judges throughout the summer, and they really expand their reach from working with our students from all the way down in Homestead, which is near the Florida Keys, and they make their drive all the way up to Broward, which is well over an hour-long drive, just to be there for our students, just to be there and support them as coaches, as judges, and more importantly, giving them those financial resources that they need to improve and continue on their entrepreneurial journey. So without further ado, I would like to welcome to the stage our marketing director, DCFU Dade County Federal Credit Union's Marketing Director, Paola Fajardo, and Marketing Manager, Jessica Vasquez. All right, at this point, I would like to welcome to the stage our NFTE Southeast Program Director, Daniel Williams.
Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you so very much to each and every one of you for being here today. We appreciate the students. Congratulations again. Thank you very much for the parents, the teachers that have been a part of this, and thank you very much to the volunteers who have made this experience that much more impactful. Now, while their pitch decks and presentations are a testament to all of the hard work and passion our students put into their business plans, they're also a reflection of the secret sauce behind that success, an incredible NFTE teacher. So let's give it up for the teachers once again. NFTE teachers are highly skilled, they're disciplined, they're passionate educators who exemplify excellent content knowledge, classroom management, and a belief that an entrepreneurial mindset can change a student's life. NFTE is proud to have so many incredible educators supporting our students in the Southeast region. Not all of them could be with us today, but I know we have some who are able to join us. Teachers, could you please stand to be recognized? I didn't get my when I came to the stage. I feel some type of way about that, but we'll have that discussion offline. This year, the NFTE Southeastern region is excited to honor 2 teachers for their outstanding work with NFTE students. One recipient is a pretty new face to NFTE, but has been collaborative, inspirational, and always willing to learn. Today, we want to acknowledge your commitment to entrepreneurship and exposing our youth to really believing that anything is possible. It is in that spirit that the Southeast Rookie Teacher of 2025, who will receive a check for $500, is Rosanna Rawls from Horizon High School. Thank you, Ms. Rawls, once again. Now, this is written down, but it's a true statement. It would take way too long to list all of the accomplishments of our veteran teacher that we're recognizing next. The students enrolled in her class are engaged, they're poised, they're passionate about entrepreneurship. Her classroom is truly a model classroom. Her positive spirit is infectious. Her commitment to youth entrepreneurship is admirable. And today, we honor her for her creativity, her innovation, and her dedication to our young learners. Also receiving a check for $500, I am pleased to recognize Miss Tanya Delgado from Randall Middle School. She gets a bigger one than any of us here from the Nifty team. Asking you shall. The answer is yes. I love this. Thank you again to all of our teachers and volunteers who go above and beyond in the support of our students. We would not be here without you. Now, as our judges, before our judges give us the order of the finalists, I would like to invite Nifty CEO Dr. J.D. LeBrock to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Daniel. And I didn't even need to ask for it. That was really good. Wow, what a fantastic afternoon. Let me just make a few observations beyond everybody loves the ba-ba-ba-ba. What a treat it just was for me to see our students be so proud of their educators for the work that you have done. Thank you so much for the lives that you are changing through the work you do with us and in all you do. Let's have one more round for our educators. And let me also just say that the Cardone Foundation is dropping some serious knowledge here today. Everything you heard in that talk, young entrepreneurs, about what business owners do and fail to do, was right on point. And whether you presented up on stage here today or whether you presented in the room, keep that advice in mind. Continue with your business ideas, and your life will be changed by the power of entrepreneurship, just like the Nifty alumni like Andres, who you heard from earlier. All right. So it is a real pleasure for me to be here with you today for the first of 7 regional competitions that we'll be having. And I want to say a thank you to our great MC, Constance Jones. Let's give her another round of applause. As well as a thank you to our amazing regional board members and our volunteers and every person who contributes to the Nifty ecosystem. We can't do what we want to do without you, and we're so very pleased and happy for your abiding commitment to us. I also want to take a moment, if you're not standing already, Southeast team and all Nifty staff members who are here, would you just please stand and be recognized? Let me call out their names: Chris, Carlene, Daniel, Victor, Jen, Timothy, Diana, also Stephanie and Vinay, Janine. Have I left anyone out? Let's give them all a great round of applause. Suze and Paul. They are the engine that makes Nifty go. They provide our teachers with curriculum, training, and support throughout the year. They work closely with our volunteers and our sponsors to make special opportunities like this possible. And speaking of special opportunities, young entrepreneurs, I have one to share with all of you. Now, not just for the finalists who presented on stage, but to all, I believe it's 16 of you, who represent 13 businesses. So I have in my hand a ticket to our national competition this fall in New York City. And I would like to let all of you know, all you semifinalists, not just the finalists, know that each one of you will receive one of these tickets to go to New York and be a part of our national competition. Congratulations. And, yep, Victor's giving them out right now. And when you hopefully join us in New York City this fall, you will have an opportunity to continue to compete and to vie for additional money to grow your businesses. So once again, we look forward to seeing you in October. Yeah, one more round of applause. So the moment of truth has arrived. I'd like to now ask Constance, as well as our 3 finalist businesses, to please join me here up on stage. Come on up. All right. Let me hand it back to Constance for more.
All right, before we get started, Judge, is there anyone that'd like to offer any advice or any kind of summary of what they've seen today?
Well, to all of you guys, we just want to say that you guys have done an amazing and phenomenal job. Many of us have shared the stages or presented or spoken at various places, whether it's Techstars, Capital Factories, a lot of different places, and you guys are a lot closer to the actualization of your projects than you can possibly imagine. Just keep going, and we are so extremely proud of all of you guys at your age and all that you guys have accomplished so far, and everything that you guys have presented today are all things that the world needs. So thank you for allowing us to be able to hear about your business today.
Guys, I would say that part of being a business owner and an entrepreneur is dealing with failure. Today, 2 of you guys are going to be a little bit disappointed because you didn't win the first place, and it's a competition. But understand that that's part of the growth curve and part of being in business. The idea is that you stick with it. And the one piece of advice that I'll give the 3 of you guys is when you're presenting in front of, and I learned this because I did this many times, when you're presenting in front of judges, remember, we're all human. So you got to apply a lot of emotion to your story. It's very, very important because the technicalities, we're going to analyze the cost of goods sold, but really what we remember when we're in there and we're deliberating is what's the story? What's this person's story? So as you go to compete on to the next level, which you will, remember that. And also when you sell, Julian, as great a salesman as you're going to be, sell with emotion. Very important, all right?
I'd like the chairman to please come up, Richard Jackson. Also, Phil Ferranici from Grant Cardone Foundation and Dr. LaRocque are already up here. If you could please come to the front as we announce the winners. I also encourage you all to please scan the QR code and volunteer if you haven't already. Congratulations again to all of our finalists. Are you guys ready for this? Yes. Okay, the results are here. I've got to turn because I think you guys might be able to see it. So excuse me for being slightly awkward here. Our 3rd place winner and the winner of a $500 cash award, Adish Kashaw. Our 2nd place winner and the award winner of a $1,000 cash prize, Manuel Vides and Julian Sands. And the last lady standing, our winner of today's competition and that $1,500 prize, Briley Gobo with Powable. Oh my goodness. So many amazing presentations today. Congratulations to all of our amazing finalists. You guys did a great job. And all the other students who are here, looking forward to seeing you guys in New York, right? You guys excited about that? Thank you so much for joining us here today, and get home safely. Thank you again.
Like Mike Jack. Rule 1, we showing up. Setting goals, got my sight back. Big faces on big stages. You gon' see it. Whooping cases like Tyson. I'm gon' beat it. We at MGM and it's packed out. 10X squad throwing stacks out. Grand finale gon' crash out. Get cash flow till we pass out. It's Cardone. You know my name cause I made it known. From Lake Charles to across the globe. MGM. In the grand I'ma give me some M's. All these haters they envy him. Cause they did what they did. Some wins, supplying my money by 10. Call me the boss, call me the Don, talk to me Mr. Cardone. Closing the deal, 1,000 apartments, doing it over the phone. Who got my money? I got a target, gotta hit all of my goals. I got a team, we do it big, no we don't do it alone. Everybody said they wanna get it, oh you really want it? Well then get obsessive. Dominated, man, I'm not impressive. I ain't stacking buildings like a Lego collection. Savages going after it, by the building off like a bag of chips. Like private, 40,000 feet, I can't hear the noise when you talking. Yes, right, hustle through the night. Taking massive action so that I 10X my life. I swipe, my amex to the right. Stupid as my cash flow, had to do it. I pull up to the MGM. In the grand, I'ma give me some M's. All these haters, they envy him. Cause they did what they did, it's time 10. I pull up to the MGM. In the grand, I'ma give me some M's. Took a loss, I'ma give me some wins. Supplying my money by 10. When I walk through the door, I'm talking cash flow. And if you know like I know, you getting cash flow. Rule 1, getting money, never losing no. But I'm broke, but now I'm living at it, they just count my zeros.
Parent.
And I wish you would try to touch me, yo.
Parents, if you guys want to, can I get the music lowered? If you guys want to take photos with your kids, or if they're your students, you guys are more than welcome to come up here. Let's just start a line off the side. If you want to take photos, we'll do one by one on stage. We got Sam here. He'll take the photos, and we'll get them to you on the back end.